Hey guys, how you doing? Happy whatever day, brew day you want it to be. I haven't really shot a lot of footage outdoors with my GoPro camera yet, so I figured I'd give it a whirl here. I've got it elastic onto the end of a telescoping flashlight thing, and it's a nice thing about these GoPros. All you need is an elastic band, really. You put them anywhere. I don't have my sunglasses. Pretty bright out here. Yeah, how you doing? We'll take a little walk, and there's a little bit of wind out, so you might hear a little bit of rumbling in the microphone. And I hope I'm centered. Obviously, I can't see myself. I'm not very experienced using the GoPro in this fashion. But I have a homebrew waiting for me in the house. Something that you guys watched me brew a couple of weeks ago on Homebrew Wednesday. And we're going to give it a whirl. Okay? So it's a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. Just, good stuff. Take your Gravol. Okay, we're handheld here. Okay, so it's a little bit shaky. Yeah, I apologize. It's been a really busy. I know I say this every week, but man, it's been a bit of a busy. Oh, what's that? Whose truck is that? I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, it's parked in my spot. No, that's ours. You know what? I'm gonna go back this way because there's people over there, and kids and stuff. I'm embarrassed. I'll walk down here. I'll walk down this way, and then we'll turn around and come back. Because you can imagine what people think when a guy walks down the street with a stick with a little thing on the end of it, and he's talking into it, right? Although you'd think people would be used to it. Anyway, yes, that was our new SUV back there, and it's just been, I've had it in the shop. I'd put a new battery in it. A lot of paperwork, when you buy a new car or a new to you car, and sometimes you just there. See, this kid just rode by. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to YouTube. There. And it's a blog. Yep, there you go. Hey, look, how come everyone else can get away with doing things like this, but I can't? Anyway, so I should be wearing a Craig Tube shirt, actually. Then they know something to do with YouTube, I guess. But what was I gonna say? See, you can get right out like that. Isn't that neat? That's pretty cool. But some of you are getting probably seasick. I suggest you move away from your screen if that happens when we do these handheld shots. Just move back, and it won't encompass your visual field. So I have, like I said, at home I've got that nice brew that we're gonna drink. I've been drinking it, but I've given it a few days to sit. There they are. I hear that. I don't know what he said. Something about YouTube, but yeah, they're gonna ride by a few times now just to be on camera. But disclaimer, kids, this is going online. Sorry. We'll try that beer, and you love being on camera, don't you? This is going on YouTube, just so you know. That's why they're riding by. Let's get out in the sun here. So the beer turned out pretty good. I'll talk more about it when we get back. I'm going to be back shortly. Everybody, what the heck? Is it something about Canada that nobody shoots video out in the street? Here, let's cut through here. Hope these backyards aren't too messy. Hi, how you doing? So anyway, I have 2 Cooper's Canadian Blondes that I'm going to be. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, it sounds a little off. Canadian Blonde beer kits, let's put it that way. that I'm going to be doing up, and I bought 2 of them. I'm just going to do them both at the same time. I may, because look, I mean, this is the time of year for that kind of beer, eh? And I'm going to be, we talked about the lime, putting lime in. What I may do to one of them, because it'll be sitting longer than the other, is I may entertain the idea of adding some lime zest as a sort of a dry hopping technique, secondary, or maybe just in the keg, and we'll see what happens. Wow, that's bright sun. My sunglasses are at my mom's house, so let's speed up a little bit here and get home, because I'm thirsty, and we'll get a beer. Give that a whirl. 2 Cooper's Canadian Blonde beer kits, and a wine kit. Same old stuff I always do. Is a California red wine. Beautiful stuff. You can't screw those wine kits up if you try. I don't know really, there's not much brewing wise going on, so parts of this video may not be brew related, so if that's not good for you, then you can stop it now if you want. It'll be nice to sit out my front steps and have a beer, or backyard, once we get that sort of straightened around. It's still a little messy from the winter. Got to get rid of some stuff, but now that we have that van, that's a Toyota 4Runner, by the way, is what it is. We can take some stuff to the dump and everything. See, there's lots of. This is just my neighborhood, There's a lot of kids that live in here. Now you're going to hear some wind. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're almost there. They're putting in these community mailboxes, which I'm not all that happy about. There's the stones, or I guess they're going to put those on the ground and mount the community mail. That means you got to actually leave the house to go get your mail. So guess whose mail is going to get piled up? Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're about 100 feet away from my house here, so I'm going to cut the camera. I hope this footage turned out okay. Would love to do more of this. Unfortunately, I don't have a bicycle anymore. So, because I'd love to be able to mount this camera on it and go for drives, but I don't know, maybe I'll borrow one, or don't want to buy another one because I really don't have anywhere. Whoa, that's bright. I don't have anywhere to store it where it won't rust. The last one I had, it rusted, and I just left it out and let it get stolen because the chain was all stuck and the gears didn't work, nothing worked. So no more bikes for me. I think I'm too old. But I can still borrow one maybe and go for a spin with the GoPro and see how that works out. All right, well, let's go and sit and have a beer. All right, we'll be right back. Cheers. There we are. It's nice to get back down into the dungeon, but it's also nice to get out once in a while. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is, remember that television show? Kids say the darndest things. Remember that with Bill Cosby? Well, kids do say the darndest things, and sometimes adults do too. Somebody said to me, it was probably about a year or so ago, on one of my videos, and I've been on YouTube for 8 years. I've heard it all. I mean, it's, you have to have a thick skin. It doesn't bother me. But he said, why do you use that stupid Carlsberg glass when people have sent you so many beautiful glasses? It just goes to show you, people they don't understand if they don't know the whole story. I mean, they don't know. This was sent to me. It was a gift. It was one of the first gifts I ever received. And as a matter of fact, I received this, and well, just let me tell the short story here. 2 glasses was the very first gift I ever received from a viewer. It came from Ireland. And it was this glass and another glass, a tall, with laser etching at the bottom. They both have that. This one got broken, and it was an unfortunate accident. It was stuck to a placemat on the kitchen table, and I went to pick it up, and it stuck to the placemat, and everything fell, and it smashed, and I was heartbroken. So I was on YouTube a month later, and some guy had the same glass. He was drinking out of it. So I left a comment on his video, and I said, "You cherish that glass," because I ended up breaking mine. What does he do? He contacted me, and he sent me one. He sent me a new one, and this is it. And so it's one of my favorite glasses. I love the shape of it. It's great for pouring. It's narrow at the bottom, wide at the top, so it creates a great head profile. And I don't drink Carlsberg beer, but there it is. They can have an advertisement for it if they want. So this is the beer that I brewed a couple weeks ago on Homebrew Wednesday. It's looking pretty good, and it's getting better with age. Now, I haven't had any of this yet today, so for a couple days actually. So let's give it a whirl and see what we've got. Remember, I put the Maris Otter grains in. I think about 3 pounds of those or something like that. And we did some Crystal 80, and we did a mini mash. And then I added that to some liquid malt extract, and we did a couple of hop additions, and Bob was our uncle all day. So that's what we've got. Let's see what we've got. Cheers. Yeah. That's a good beer. I'm finding it a little bit sweet. It's what I call a sticky beer. And by that I mean, when you drink the beer, if you don't wash out the glass, it's sticky. It's because when the liquid evaporates, there's a sugar that coats the inside of the glass. Now, it's not sticky like candy or sugar or whatever. It's just very caramelly. There's a lot of malty, and it's the crystal malt. I know. I may have wanted to cut back on the crystal malt a little bit. I think I put 250 grams in, maybe 200, maybe 150, 180, something like that. But all in all, the hops are there, and they nicely balance it. So you've got the malty, sort of a carameliness, and then you've got the hop bitterness. It's a nice combination. It's not my best homebrew, but it's definitely for me just throwing it together, on Beersmith or wherever, whatever, Brewer's Friend or wherever you tool you use. Yeah, can't even talk. I'm just throwing together a recipe like that without really, planning anything. It's a good beer. Once you learn how to do that, and you will, if you're not already learning, if you don't already know how to do it, because a lot of you do, of course, but if you don't, you'll get to know how to grab some stuff and the proportions of which, how much of this, how much of that. And there's lots of tools online and forums and things, 17brewcrew.com being one of them. It's a great place to start, and certainly a great place to be, to ask questions. I'm in there quite a bit, actually. I've got my own little section in there. If you have a question for me, you're more than welcome to go in there and ask. Or you can go out into the other sections and ask everybody, and you'll get the answer. I guarantee you will. I ask questions in there. I love it because I can go in there and I got an answer in an hour, But you'll get to know how to say, okay, I've got some liquid malt extract, I've got some dry malt, I've got some grains, I've got some hops, I've got some this, I've got some yeast. I think the other reason why it's a little bit sweet is because I used a yeast, a USO4 yeast, which as far as I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, has it doesn't attenuate down quite as far as like a USO5 does. Now, I may have that backwards, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking for, sort of an English style ale, where there's a little more sweetness there and not as much bitterness. And that's what I've got here. Let's give it another go. The head's obviously died down. That happens. But we got some nice lace there on the glass. Beautiful mouthfeel. Just the right amount of carbonation. Yeah. You know who your uncle is. But I'm double-fisted. I have to admit. I just finished recording a video for my vinyl channel. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. It's a big, long, blah, 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 weird link. But, you know, it's called Vinyl TV, and I guess that's what I'm going to call it. I was going to call it CraigTube Vinyl, but I don't know. The CraigTube thing is, you know, I don't want to wear it out, right? So it's called Vinyl TV. That's probably what I'm going to call it, what I'm going to stay as. But I can't get a URL for the channel. I'd like to have, you know, I've got with this channel, I've got youtube.com/CraigTube. Beautiful. I can't get youtube.com/anything unless I have over 500 subscribers. So if you could subscribe to that, I'm begging you. If you're interested at all in vinyl records and my opinions and looking at some of the vinyls that I have, I'll be doing some what are called needle drops, where I'll be playing some pieces of vinyl just to show how it sounds. I'll be talking about turntables. I'll be, you know, talking about just anything vinyl related. That's the channel. So if you're at all interested in that, you can go and subscribe there. Don't subscribe just because, all right? I don't want you to, you know, watch stuff that you don't want to see. But basically, it's like it'll be like Homebrew Wednesdays, except it'll be about vinyl instead. And a lot of times, what guys do on these, it's called the VC, the Vinyl Community. That's what they call it, the VC. What they'll do is they'll just, you know, they'll just show some new records that they got. They'll just show some new pieces that they've acquired. They may do album reviews. They'll talk about cartridges, turntables. It's very basic. It's very simple. You know, there's nothing to it. There's no magic, you know, firecrackers or anything like that goes on. It's just talking about records, and people show. Look at I can see my white balance is off because this. Let me turn that off. And you'll see the white balance will slowly get more natural because it's not looking at that temperature. It's looking at that one. Lighting, it's another whole story. It should start looking a little more natural in a minute. But anyway, that's the that. Don't know what else to really tell you. That's what's brewing. That's what's doing. And now, a lot of you know that I do a broadcast on Friday nights. This week's going to be a little bit different. I'm not even sure if I can broadcast this Friday night, which is tomorrow for me right now. And if I do, it'll be short, very short broadcast. So I got to go out on Saturday, kind of, sort of around lunchtime. So I don't want to be, you know, wrecked, ruined, and tired, and drunk, and, you know, hungover and everything else. Okay, so I will put a. You should already know that if you're looking at why haven't Craig put his Homebrew Wednesday out yet, or why hasn't he done this, or how come he's not broadcasting, or whatever, CraigFairway.com. There's nothing much there really, but there is a little section where I'll post if there's an update or something I need you to know. You can go there and see, oh, okay, he's not broadcasting this week, or, you know, his Homebrew Wednesday's late because of this, that, the other, you know, whatever, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with, I've been talking all afternoon because I've been, you know, doing stuff. And so that's what you do. Anyways, I'm probably out of time anyways. I don't like to make these any longer than 20 minutes. And I really appreciate you watching. Listen, if I may just take a moment and thank all you guys. Because not only, you know, you make it fun. Your comments, your, you know, just your contributions, your, like, everything. It's just so great to know that what you're doing is something that people enjoy. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, I know that there are people who enjoy what I do, even if it's just a Homebrew Wednesday every week, and the odd brewing and cooking video too, which I love doing the cooking videos. They're a lot of fun. But I just want to thank you. What you can do to help me? Well, you can post comments down below any of my videos that you watch. Post a comment. That makes them popular. That generates, you know, them getting up higher on the list. The other things you can do is the thumb up thing. If you like the video, push the thumbs up button. It takes half a second, That's all you got to do. And I do have t-shirts for sale. A lot of people have bought them already, and I'm so grateful for that at tgtshirts.com. I'm wearing a different shirt today. I'm wearing one that somebody sent me. If you want to, I'll give you a full view of it if you guys can see that. There you go. I have lots of great shirts that have been sent, and I really want to just thank everybody. Geez, it's it's just great. So guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Be safe, okay? Cheers.